Hello everyone, welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video. Today we're here out on the island runway in my MRFTA B1 White Ghost Bomber. Now I asked in the last video if you guys wanted to see some BB Armory content, and most of you did. So this is the scenario. There are a few K-24 Eagles on here for air superiority support, and we have a few Sea Widows to support them. The K-24s actually have an interesting story. They were featured in the Son of Smith livestream, and they're going to be facing off against these flankers, Patriot launcher turret, a pack launcher turret that does nothing, and then a gun turret. So our White Ghost's mission is to take out all of them. Yes, absolutely all of them. So now that that intro is out of the way, I could talk about a bit more of what this is. So I've been playing around for BD Armory for about like 6 months now, and since state exams are finished, I've been able to cram in a bit more recording and whatnot. It's been quite a journey developing all these fighter aircraft and tuning every single one of them. The K-24 Eagle V2s were featured in a Son of Smith's mailbag stream, which I could show you. Anyways, we've skipped over to when I finally arrived in front of the KIG-29 pivot and two KIG-27 flankers, and we're gonna launch a couple of Mavericks at it. Now we only have 6 missiles, and there are 6 targets, so we need to make sure that all of them count, except for when we attack this one, because we can only launch 2, and then I think that should be enough. So yeah, we're going to use the Type 35 EOTs from the NMB mod. I'll put a full mod list down in the description, but not every single mod that I have will show up in this video, so I'll just show you the ones that are required to get this to work. So I paused a moment, and then we can switch to the AGM-65 Maverick missiles, and we'll fire a couple. I would say around 2 should be alright when I was recording this, so I'm like, yeah, maybe once we get in range, we'll fire 2 Mavericks, and that should be enough to decimate all 3 of them. And you'll see the results soon. There goes one, another one, and yeah, the goalkeeper turret is going to try and shoot them down. Now, in practice runs, the goalkeeper somehow managed to get both of those, and then I ran out of missiles, so I was sheerly relying on dumb luck for them to not be exploded. So, yeah. The White Ghost is the latest craft out of my stealth fighter program, and 2 Mavericks did the job. Alright, we're aiming for the goalkeeper turret now, because that thing is really pesky and annoying. So yeah, if you're going to do something, I suggest you aim for the goalkeeper turret first, because that is just a complete nightmare to deal with. Trying to fight that is like bringing a musket, no, a rapier to the Korean War. So yeah, we gotta take that thing out before we launch more missiles at the missile turrets, which cannot fire right now because this thing is only detectable at around 4 kilometers, but we're like 7 kilometers-ish away from our targets, so their radar can't even see us, and they can't shoot at us. So yeah, as I was saying, this is the latest product of my stealth fighter program. We're just gonna check on each of these. Apparently, because I've time warped, they all exploded, and this missile has decided to not comply. So apparently, yeah, that just happens sometimes, so that's why I have a backup missile, and this one should take care of the goalkeeper turret. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. So this is the latest product in my stealth fighter program, and this originally was a fighter aircraft called the Whisper. Great naming, I know. And then I repurposed it to the White Ghost. And there goes the goalkeeper turret. Absolutely destroyed. We're going to now aim at the PAC-3 launcher, because it is still a what do you call it? A operational launcher, because the AAB-1 Destruction, which is the one that is not the one that I'm aiming at, I forgot to add a probe core, so it cannot control itself, so it's just dead targets. So I could easily take that out with a gun or something like that. checking on all of these, and yeah, this is when I realized that this somehow exploded and is smoking. I have no idea why this is going on, and it's just really strange to me why this is happening. And we're just going to be aiming that, going in, the Hellfire missile, max range 8 kilometers. I don't see the missile for like a couple of seconds, and then I see that it's heading straight for it, and boom, that is for some reason not demobilized. So I have to use another missile to take that down, which is so annoying. That means that I have to use guns to take out the other AAB-1 destruction, which is reasonably simple. No, it's not simple. It took me like 50 tries to absolutely destroy that thing. I made the armor way too thick. I really should have made the armor less thick. We're gonna have to pull up pretty sharply here. And yeah, so technically I've finished the objectives of the white ghost, but I still want to destroy that thing. I want to, because why not? We have time, let's do it. Yeah, as you can see, this video is the longest video I have ever published to YouTube, probably. Not sure, you can't quote me on that one. I really don't care about my older videos unless they do really well, and if they get comments, but yeah. Anyways, the white ghost is based off of, the name actually is based off of the gray ghost, which is the YF-23 second prototype by Northrop Grumman to build a stealth fighter for the Advanced Tactical Fighter program, which competed against the F-22. Like, why would you ever compete against the F-22? That thing is a beast. There is nothing that can replace it yet, or challenge it in the skies. Nothing. Not even the J-20, Su-57, Su-75, checkmate, whatever. Yeah, you Russians and Chinese are like, oh yeah, this will be a competitor to the F-22. It's not. It's not. It's the king of the skies. The king cannot die until replaced. And yeah, that little skirmish about the Eurofighters defeating the F-22, probably not true, considering they literally have no information or evidence on that. Doesn't really matter, the F-22s are still an amazing fighter jet. My favorite, however, is the F-15, which is what the K-24 Eagles are based off of. The K-24, you might have seen that there's a V2 name on it, which means this is the second version. Yeah, the first version was like regular, and it had no tuning on it at all, and all the missiles and ranges were weird. So for the V2, I tuned it up, changed the missile detonation time, drop time, you know, all that stuff. It turned out to be a pretty capable fighter. So yeah, I'm literally just trying to waffle on while I'm still trying to destroy this AAB-1 destruction. Ironically, it doesn't destroy, but it's really hard to destroy. It doesn't destroy you, but it's really hard to destroy. That was a clean hit. Let's see how much it's at. It's on 1. Come on, Nick. Come on, me from the past. Do it already. Yeah, I'm recording this a few hours after I've finished recording and slapped this footage that I'm watching over together. So, yeah. And, oh, I saw an explosion. Gonna have to pull up sharply here again. It's on point 2. It's on point 2. Like, why is the armor in BD Armory so hard? This is a GAU-22 we're talking about here. I mean, it's no GAU-8 Avenger, but it's still 2 of them. It should be able to destroy this thing if it was on 1.7 armor integrity, right? If you disagree, put it in the comment section below why this is happening. Or if it's just how it is. No idea. I've only been playing around with this mod for like 6 months. I really never really liked gameplay mods, like stuff that changes the parts in gameplay, mechanics and all that. Adds so many new mechanics because they're really hard to learn. And by the way, I finally destroyed that pesky little thing. We're gonna head back to the island runway. While we're heading back to the island runway, I could continue talking about what I was talking about. So yeah, I never really quite liked parts mods, because they're really hard to learn. And then I stumbled upon this YouTuber, Son of Smith, a year ago, and I've been watching him for like a while. Never really got into the BD Armory kind of thing. I just kind of watched him because it seems like there's a guy who knows what to do. And he still humbles himself and compares himself with like Legged Black. If you don't know who Legged Black is, he's one of the most great designers of BD Armory craft, and Apparently my Eagles also exploded, so I'm going to have to respawn every single one of them. Anyways, yeah, Legged Lack designs a lot of powerful drone craft, like the feared Prototype 36, the PG X69 Slaptor 5, or 3. I keep forgetting. A little victory flare and chaff dump, just to make the craft a little lighter. And then 6 months ago, I got into BD Armory, and yeah, it was really, really interesting. My first craft I ever designed was small plane big guns, which means, oh yeah, just make something small but has a lot of firepower. And that ended up to be my very first BD Armory aircraft, and it did not go well. Now that I look back at the craft file, it seems so stupid. It's really terrible. Its performance is just, it's worse than if the Eagles had no missiles. That first craft still could not beat it because I still didn't know what ground and air attack radar difference was. So every single craft till I reached the K-24 was using a ground radar. So I had to go in, of course, and replace every single one of them, which took like 5 hours, and which means I had to rebalance and retune all of it. The K-24 was the one that I first like properly tuned. The rest of them was just like blind tuning, which is not the way to go on stuff like this. Here we are approaching the island runway. I didn't really explain the scenario. So we are the Kerbal sophisticated America. Yeah, I just thought of that right on the spot, and here we are coming in for a landing. And the KSR, the Kerbal Socialist Republic, has taken over the KSC. So now, here we are with a bunch, 3 K-24 Eagles and 2 Sea Widow Navy vessel aircraft launching from my aircraft carrier, and against a bunch of kites, 5 kite aircraft. Now, you won't see them yet, but trust me, they are formidable aircraft. They are my Eurofighter, Dassault Rafale, or whatever you want to call it, type of craft. And they're quite good, I'll tell you that. Here we are launching the final Sea Widow. So the KSR has managed to stumble across and just place a bunch of kites to defend their airspace from being dominated. If we win this air battle, we will have taken back the KSC from the KSR. Here we are launching the final Sea Widow off the USS Enterprise. Alright, so now we're gonna go and turn on all the piloting mode for the kites, but we're going to have activate their engines first, and also since I time warp, they also twisted out of position, because that's what landing gear in KSP does, I guess. Yeah, there are 5 kites against 3 K-24s and 2 Sea Widows. I will not spoil what happens, but I assure you, I thought that this was going to be an easy win for the Eagles and Sea Widows. I mean, these I spent hours tuning, and the kites, I haven't even upgraded them for the newest version of BD Armory. Somehow, they will take out an Eagle and a Sea Widow without losing a single aircraft. That's what they will do in the first few minutes of this gigantic air battle. 10 craft. Mind you, this footage is sped up like by 200% because my frame rate with a bunch of visual mods, a bunch of gameplay mods, and 10 craft with physics applied to every single one of them is quite low. I literally had to, I almost considered putting an ice bag on top of my computer just to cool it better. But I kind of went against that because the frame rate kind of started to improve. So yeah, that's kind of the situation for my computer right now. Not great, but We're focusing on the first Sea Widow I launched. The Sea Widows were built to be like my F-16 role filler. Like, it's not an F-16 recreation, but it fills the role of the F-16 in my kind of aerial arsenal. And then the Eagles are like my air superiority fighter, and then the Whispers and the White Ghosts are like my top secret stealth 5th gen projects. Technically they're 6th gen because they don't have tail fins, but doesn't matter. We're following the kites in, and do they look like a Eurofighter? I kind of think so. But you guys can tell me in the comment section below if you think this is a Eurofighter-esque craft. And if you're enjoying the video so far, I really appreciate you liking and subscribing the video. Really helps me out stay afloat in the algorithm. And if you want to support me more, there are links to the Patreon in the description if you want to support me that way. That missile went really close to that Sea Widow. I suspected the K-24s to put up at least a little bit of a fight, and they put up way more than a little bit of a fight. They put up a lot of a fight. They took out 2 of my best craft without suffering a single loss, which is very concerning. So I feel like the K-24s are like the F-15Cs. So maybe I'll have to go make an... Oh look, one of the Sea Widows has been taken out. When I was recording this, I was like, did it crash? And no, it actually did it. I replayed it a bunch of times. It was a missile. So, maybe in need of a desperate upgrade. Oh, and there goes an Eagle. They're dropping like flies. They're dropping like flies. They're really starting to drop like flies. I was very concerned at this point because it was a 3v5. A 3v5. Can you win that? I really don't think so. Here we go. Kite launches a close-range Sidewinder. Doesn't quite make it. The Eagle is just like staying away and be like, I'm just not even gonna go into this carnage. Fair choice to the AI who thought of this, and yeah. I accidentally turned off piloting for one of the kites. I didn't notice it. At first I thought it was battle damage, then I realized it's off. So I quickly turn it on, but it's too late. A lot of mistakes. But it doesn't matter. I was like, oh yeah, probably the kites are still going to win. I was wrong. Spoilers, but I was very, very wrong. I don't know what happened with the AI, but I think the AI was galvanized by the loss of so many of their comrades so quickly that they want to fight harder, and they gave it everything they had. Everything. Like, I originally thought it was gonna be like a joust or something like that, but oh look, one of the Eagles is damaged. Great. That'll cost him trouble. But the Sea Widow is getting shot at by 2 healthy kites, and it's flaming, and it lost an engine. This kite is gonna have a hard time pulling out of this dive, but doesn't make it, and that's another craft down. It's now a 3v3. At this point, I was like, okay, this might actually turn into a fair fight. I really hope so, because then it'll be a complete embarrassment, and I will have to refilm this entire battle because the people that were supposed to win did not win. Oh, look. A Sea Widow has taken out one of the kites. 2v3, easily winnable. Game pauses for a second. Don't know why, but it's getting shot at. It's this final kite. Yeah, it's not going to survive for that long, considering that it's flaming. Yeah, I have this mod called Battle Damage Visual Effects or whatever. Rocket Visual Enhancement Sounds, but yeah. And this kite is... This is the last kite remaining. And it's being completely shredded by some of the Sea Widows and Eagles. Yeah. So, that was today's video. I hoped you enjoyed it, and the attacking forces, we take back the KSC. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. This is Andrew the Astronaut, signing off.